Hey folks, Sheila here from Design Files. In today's video, we're going to quickly touch on the image adjustment tools that are available to you within the moodboard software. Now, the image adjustment tools, if you haven't been using them at all yet, you definitely want to give these a go because they really help you further customize and tweak all the products within your designs so that you can really punch up your overall finished design board and make it look as realistic as possible. So let's go ahead and we'll cover a few of these so that you can get a sense for how you would use them within your design boards. Now, one of the options right here is the brightness option. So if I just kind of pull this toggle to the right, you can see how it brightens up that armchair in the front of my design there, and I can pull it to the left if I want to darken it out. So you can play around with this if you just want to kind of punch up the overall image of the product and give it a bit more brightness. There is also a contrast feature as well. So this will intensify the shadows and the light on the product so that it gives it, I don't know, like a more of a, just kind of catches on all the edges to give it more of a 3D look. And if you're feeling like it's looking a little bit flat, then you can punch that up as well. The other one that you have here is the saturation tool. I'm going to click into the art piece here, something that has a bit more color so you can see how this will work. So if I bring the saturation tool to the right, you can see how much it's punching up those colors in the actual art piece. And if I bring it all the way back to the left, you can see how it basically grays it out completely. So you can use this. It comes in really handy. Let's say that you had a teal armchair that you had in your design, but it felt a little kind of faded or gray and you just wanted to pump up the color a little bit. That's when the saturation tool is going to come in really handy. Now the blur tool would probably come in handier if you were creating more of a simple concept board and you just kind of wanted some visual elements in the background that are faded out. That's where I think that you would probably use that more. You're probably not going to be using the blur tool as much if you're creating a full room design like this one right here. Now the last one that I'll bring to your attention is the transparency tool. And let's go ahead and we're going to click on this paint swatch that I added to the wall. Now you can see here I've actually taken the transparency down to 25%. So if I bring the full color back in, you can see how dark that paint color actually was. I just wanted to test things out and see what it would look like with a light gray color on the walls. So I just used the transparency tool to pull back the color a little bit until I felt like I had a paint color that I really liked on that wall. So for testing purposes, it's really handy. It's also really handy if, even if you were just going to take the transparency on the paint color down to, let's say, 80%, what's nice about that is that it'll start to show a lot of the shadows in the corners or any light spots on the wall so that it makes your wall feel a little bit more realistic instead of super flat because the paint swatch is at 100% opacity. And if you want a little bit more insights on this, be sure to check out our video in the video tutorial library that's all about adding paint to walls. And you'll get lots of great tips in there. Now, the last thing that I'll bring to your attention, I'm just going to bring this back to 25%. The last thing that I'll bring to your attention is that there is also the ability to add drop shadows to any of the items within your designs. And you can change the horizontal offset, you can change the vertical offset, you can increase the overall blur of the shadow, and you can increase the opacity as well. So give this a try. There is a video that's specific to adding drop shadows, and you'll also find it comes in really handy if you're creating simple concept boards like this, where you're layering samples and fabrics one on top of the other, and you just want to add a little bit of depth to each by adding in a drop shadow. So I think that about covers it. If you haven't been using those image adjustment tools, get in, try it out on your next mood board design. You're going to see that it really helps elevate your design boards and gives you that added ability to really customize and edit each product so that you can make it sing within your designs. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to us on the live chat. We're always happy to help.